In the 1800s, when evolution was still a highly debated topic, Charles Lyell wrote that accepting evolution meant one has to go with the whole orang. He wrote that because he didn't like the idea of humans being linked to our animal ancestors. But why was he talking about orangutans in the first place and not about our closest relatives, chimps and bonobos? Well, it turns out orangutans were the first apes Western scientists discovered. When a Dutch explorer visited Java in the 17th century, he was baffled by what the locals described as the men of the forest. He also recorded a local saying that orangutans could actually talk, but chose not to in order not to be forced to work. He also reported that they walked on two legs, like we do. Well, that's not entirely right, but he tried to portray them as humanly as possible. When Charles Darwin studied human evolution, he looked at orangutans, but he didn't choose wild orangutans. He watched them in London Zoo, and let me say it was a different time. Forget nature-like habitats as you might find them in zoos today. They were dressing that young orangutan like a human child, and gave her tea to drink. So no wonder that Darwin described her as a man in his notes. By the time Darwin wrote that, it became clear that orangutans weren't the only ape species, with chimps being recognized as a species in the late 1800s and gorillas being recognized in the 1840s. But orangutans were the first apes Westerners encountered, and they remained the default ape for a very long time.